Forget everything you know about zombies. In this world, the infected don't just want to eat you, they want to see you suffer while they laugh about it. Trust me, you have never seen a zombie movie like this before. This is the story of a virus that turns human cruelty into a sport, and the ending will leave you completely speechless. This story starts in Taiwan, where scientists and news reporters are debating a new virus. Virologists said, "This virus is very dangerous. We have never seen such symptoms in humans before." But despite this, the government did not take any steps to stop it. After this, we see Kat and her boyfriend Jim. Both have been in a living relationship for many years, but they have not yet planned to get married. Kat works in an office to run the house, while Jim is unemployed and looking for a job. When Jim gets up and goes outside, he sees an old woman standing on a roof covered in blood. He asks Kat, "Did you see her?" But Kat says, "Which woman? There is no one there." Their neighbor, Mr. Lin, asks, "Did you hear about that new virus? This government lies to make us crazy." After this, Jim drops Kat off at the train station. On the way, he sees the police arresting a man who had just killed someone. When they reach the station, Jim apologizes to Kat and says, "Forgive me, I shouldn't have slowed down the scooter there. You must have had a bad day seeing a dead body in the morning." But Kat says, "It's okay, we'll go for dinner this evening. Come pick me up soon." After this, when Jim comes back the same way, he sees that the police and the body have disappeared. Jim goes to a restaurant and gives his order. The chef tells him, "Look, the real estate market has crashed. The property rates are much lower than last year." While Jim is thinking, the same old lady he saw on the roof in the morning enters the restaurant. A man asks her, "Grandma, are you okay? Do you need any help?" But she spits in that man's face and pours boiling oil on the chef's face. Before Jim can understand anything, he sees that the man the woman spat on has brutally killed his own friend. The woman also tries to kill Jim, but then a car hits her and blows her away. The man sitting in that car is also infected with the virus. Jim sees a woman jumping off a roof to end her life, and then he sees so many people dying in front of his eyes that he forgets to count. Infected people follow him to kill him, but Jim enters his apartment just in time and closes the door. He immediately calls Kat, but her phone is not reachable. He wants to know what is happening, but when he opens the news channels, they are all shut down and an emergency warning is playing instead. He hears a voice from outside. A man is saying that everyone should report to the district office. Then his voice turns into a devilish laugh, and he says, "Come here quickly. The man who does not come, I will cut his private parts and feed them to the dogs. From now on, this is your life. Get used to it." While Jim is messaging Kat, he sees someone coming from behind. Mr. Lin is also infected with this virus. He cuts his own fingers with grass-cutting scissors and eats them. Jim picks up a toaster and hits Mr. Lin on the head in anger. When Jim goes outside, he can hear people screaming. Someone is jumping from a roof and someone else is killing their own family. He sees people breaking a man's hand. The man is screaming in pain, but the attacker's happiness increases with every scream. Jim quickly picks up his scooter, but as soon as he starts it, the loud engine noise attracts everyone's attention. The whole neighborhood runs after him to kill him. A police officer shoots at him, but Jim escapes. On the other side of the city, we see Kat reading a book on the metro. A middle-aged man comes and sits next to her. He asks, "What are you reading?" Kat realizes he has wrong intentions and tries to ignore him, but he keeps talking. He says, "Who reads books on the metro these days? Everyone is busy on their phones." Eventually he says, "I see you every day on the train, but today I thought I should tell you that I like you very much. You are very beautiful." He waits for a while, and then, without her consent, he starts touching her. Kat does not like this at all and says, "Leave me alone, or I will file a sexual harassment case against you." After that, the man starts acting mean. He says, "What has happened to people these days? Talking on the train is a crime. All women are the same. You think because you are beautiful, you can say anything." His taunts are unbearable, so as soon as the next station arrives, Kat gets up. She thinks, "I will get rid of this creep and never sit on this train again." But what happens next is even worse. Suddenly, a man pulls out a knife and starts stabbing the people standing there. Those who try to stop him are infected too. Very quickly, the whole train turns red with blood. A girl near Kat is very scared, and then someone stabs her in the eye with an umbrella. We see that the businessman from earlier is also infected. After stabbing the girl's eye, he starts laughing like a psycho. Kat is scared, but she helps the girl, Molly, and pulls her out of the train. Molly says, "Leave me, you go." But Kat does not listen. While running, they run into a man. He asks, "Are you both blind?" But when he sees Molly is actually blinded in one eye, he tries to help. Then the businessman appears. Kat wants to kill him, and the man stands in front to stop him. But the businessman picks up an axe and kills the man. Kat sees someone closing a security door. She asks him to stop, but he closes it even faster. Somehow, both women reach the gate and get out before it closes. Kat says to the guard, "You are smart, you could have helped us." But the guard is terrified. When he sees Kat is not infected, he tells her to go to the hospital immediately. On the other side, Jim is trying to reach Kat. He hears on the radio that the virus makes people violent. Everyone, women, children, and the elderly, is committing crimes. Jim tries to cross the road and sees a man doing something disgusting with a corpse. The man has tears in his eyes as if he knows what he is doing, but cannot control himself because of the virus. Saving himself, Jim reaches a bridge, but it is jammed. He has to take a long way around, but he cannot ride his scooter for long because of his injured hand. He stops and wraps tape around his hand. He finds a knife nearby and takes it as a weapon. He sees infected people torturing a man. One of them says, "Why did you hit his head?" "Look, he fainted. Now we won't enjoy it." They tie a pointed wire to a pole and start scratching the man's body. His skin peels like a vegetable, and the man screams in pain. When Jim cannot watch this anymore, he attacks. Jim saves the man, but he finds out the man they were torturing is also infected. The man says, "Why did you stop them? I was just starting to enjoy it," and laughs loudly. The infected boys return and attack Jim. Before they can beat him, Jim gets on his scooter and escapes. Kat brings Molly to the hospital. A police officer says the virus has spread everywhere, and they are waiting for help from the government. A nurse takes Molly to the operating room. Molly is so shocked that she hasn't cried yet, but now she cries a lot. She thanks Kat for saving her life and says, "I will never forget you." Kat asks the guard for a phone to call Jim. Suddenly, an announcement comes on TV. The president of Taiwan assures everyone that they will soon find a cure. Then the military chief says that 20 to 30% of the population is infected. More than 4.5 million people are victims. He says the infected torture people before killing them. Hearing this, people feel a bit better, thinking the government is helping. But as they are about to explain the rescue plan, it turns out the military chief is also infected. He takes out a grenade on live TV, puts it in the president's mouth, and blows his head off. Chaos breaks out everywhere. The broadcast makes things worse because the people everyone hoped would save them are not safe themselves. The officer takes out a gun to calm the crowd, but then Kat sees the businessman has reached the hospital. She locks the area to stay safe. The guard begs her to open the gate, but she runs away. The businessman comes inside and starts killing everyone. The guard hides under a stretcher. The businessman finds Molly, and what he does to her is too disgusting to describe. The guard hears her screams but does not save her. Kat calls Jim and tells him she is in the hospital and scared. Jim tells her to take a deep breath and says, "Don't worry, I'm coming." On his way, Jim sees a statue in a gutter, but thinks it is a human head. He is not feeling well. He has to reach Kat, but the city is a living hell. After the businessman leaves, the guard comes out and sees infected people acting like animals. He manages to enter another ward, but Molly is there. The guard accidentally bumps into a plate, and the infected people surround him. Molly picks up a cutter and kills the guard. He screams in pain, which is the punishment for not helping her earlier. On the other side, the businessman is looking for Kat. He says, "When I did what I wanted to do with your friend, she screamed a lot, but later she started to like it. Don't be afraid, I will kill you until you die." He almost reaches her, but Kat picks up a fire extinguisher, beats him, and kills him. The rest of the people break the gate and enter, but a doctor opens a lab door and tells Kat to come in. There is blood all over her. The doctor thinks she might be infected, so he tells her to handcuff herself. He sees she isn't turning, so he thinks she might be immune and doesn't shoot her. Kat asks, "You are a virologist. What are you doing here in the children's ward?" The doctor says the doors here are the strongest. Meanwhile, Jim reaches the hospital. The doctor tells Kat, "I warned people about this virus all year, but no one listened. This virus is like an evil spirit. It attacks the part of the brain that controls anger. We think we are in control, but our brain is our slave. It is made to make itself happy. He explains that infected people might cry because they regret what they are doing, but they cannot stop the desire for violence. He says they don't kill each other because they only get joy from the pain of an innocent person. Kat messages Jim that she is on the top floor. She has to give a blood sample to the doctor. But when she goes to a bin to throw away her bloody clothes, she hears a baby crying. She finds a child inside. Before she can react, the doctor infects her with the virus using a needle. It turns out the doctor killed all the children in the ward. The doctor says, "Everything was going well. If you hadn't seen this, I wouldn't have to do this. Now you have only 5 minutes. If the virus doesn't affect you, you go upstairs with me to make a vaccine. If you get infected, I will kill you." He claims he was trying to save the children from being eaten, and he needed test subjects for a vaccine. Kat realizes the doctor is a psycho. She messages Jim. The doctor in the children's ward has a gun. The doctor's rescue helicopter arrives. He sees that Kat is still fine after 5 minutes, meaning she is immune. He takes her to the roof. On the way, a mutant bites the doctor's leg. The doctor shoots it, but the mutant vomits on the wound, infecting the doctor. The doctor runs to the roof, but someone is waiting. Kat sees a shadow and thinks it's Jim. But when the light hits his face, she sees Jim is infected. The doctor shoots Jim, but Jim survives and kills the doctor. Kate ran to the roof to save her life and locked Jim inside. Jim kept telling her to open the door, but Kate knew that her Jim had left. She sat with him for a while. She asked, "How do you feel from inside? Can you stop yourself from killing me?" But Jim said, "I feel very good. I feel that my life has a purpose. You never felt the need for me. But when you called me and cried in front of me and begged for help, I felt very good." He said, "I want to cut you into pieces. I want to crush your head with my feet and break it." Kate started crying after hearing such disgusting things from Jim's mouth, but gradually the sadness on her face turned into laughter. Her laughter indicated that she was not immune. The virus had also started affecting her. The sadness of losing Jim was now making her happy. When she heard the sound of the helicopter, she went straight up. After a while, we hear the sound of bullets, which meant that the military must have killed her. Finally, we are shown that Jim had a devilish smile on his face. He was badly injured, which caused him to die there. But the smile on his face never faded away. If you were in Kat's position on that roof, would you have opened the door for Jim one last time? Or did she do the right thing by locking him out? Let's argue about it in the comments. This is where the story ends. See you soon in the next recap. Thanks for watching.